who's in the chat. Let the people know how they could get in touch with you, Rod.
Before I do that, Rich, I want to expound on something I seen in the comments.
Yes.
America is not ancient Egypt. I'm gonna say that again. America is not ancient Egypt. America is not Northwest Africa.
Mhm.
Egypt ain't even ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt wasn't called Egypt by the people that lived there.
Mhm.
America can't be ancient Egypt when the term Egypt is a modern Greek term,
Mhm.
right? What it is the appropriation of global culture that took place into antediluvian world, covered the whole of the planet. The knowledge of the pyramid priests is the knowledge that built the earth. And that knowledge still exists in all continents. It's just pieces of it have been extracted, and now it's like putting together a big puzzle. The original Temple of Isis was in the Arizona, what we call the Grand Canyon. And there was the original pyramid complex. This was the Great Atlant that they became known as Atlantis after Plato called it Atlantis. But it wasn't Atlantis, it was the Great Atlant.
Right.
And the Atlanta is more properly named than Atlantis is. The people that they thawed out in Antarctica are ancient Atlanteans. They Lemurian Atlanteans. That was a flash froze civilization, and they thawed some of them people out. And then they told us this fabricated story that these people was part of an experiment of some people they brought from Africa. The same BS they told us about us over here. Them people that they was in Antarctica was already there. They already was there, frozen in the ice, and they used the cryostasis recovery method to thaw them people out. And that's when they found out that they didn't effed around, right? So when people start trying to designate Turtle Island as Egypt or ancient Egypt or North Africa, it's because they trying to disassociate us from this landmass as a people that was already here before any other settlers came. We were amalgamating and mixing with both Asians and Africans long before Columbus was even born.
Mm.
So stop listening to people tell y'all that y'all somewhere else. This Turtle Island, this is Atlantis. If they want to tell you this is something, don't let them tell you it's Egypt, because Egypt has only been named Egypt for probably about 800 years.
Mhm.
In modern Egypt, with the current lines of demarcation, that came out in the 1800s as part of the scramble for Africa. So these people was being misleading, but some of them actually believe the bullshit they teaching.
Mm. Indeed. And on that note, any contact info for the people, Rod?
Y'all can catch me on Rod Hayes on Facebook, or the SikApe, almost the same as my um, CASHAPP, except it got the in front of it, on Instagram. Them the only two channels that I'm on. Otherwise, y'all catch me on Young Elder. Y'all can catch me right here on Brother Rich, or somebody else who might invite me to do a show. I'm thinking about opening up a TikTok for my live next.
Oh, that'll be powerful. Oh man, so many people on TikTok, Rod. Oh man, I gotta get on there more too. The youth is on there heavy, Rod. They on
Mm-hmm.
heavy, man. So yeah. Hey Rod, thank you. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Tomorrow, by the way, AA Rashid will be on tomorrow night, family. So tune in 9 o'clock tomorrow. I'm gonna have the brother AA Rashid.
It started, but this episode of Chiefing with the Chiefing with Chief Pontiac, is called The U.S. versus Us, Cowboys, Indians, and Outlaws. Y'all might want to share this one. This one, I'm just getting a shout out to all of the brothers out there and the sisters that's doing the work
to try to get this message to our people of what happened to us and how we end up where we don't got our birthright. So I'm gonna use this device to try to share some receipts with y'all um, when I start going in. So share, and then share. And then post it on your other social media. Let them know on Instagram, Rod Harry's Live on Facebook. This about to be one that's going to wake you fucking up. You finna wake the fuck up from this one. Because if you don't know we was at war, and you don't know that we was at war against the United States government, and you don't know that they the reason why we lost our identity from trying to hide from their assassins. But you don't even know who their assassins was. We about to get into it. The first thing that we need to understand is the United States is a federal corporation owned by the Crown of England and the Vatican. It's primarily a British holding. It used to be two corporations. It used to be the Virginia Trading Company and it used to be the Northwest Trading Company as the overseers of what they called the 13 colonies. And in the course of this, these two corporations merged in what we know as the Revolutionary War. They told us, hold on, I'm looking up a receipt right quick. So they told us that the Indians was scalping the paleface cowboys, and they told us that it was some people with they call Native Americans now. We call them $5 Indians because they was created by the Dawes Roll and the Dawes Act. For a fee of $5, they entered them on the roll. It was the Trail of Tears when they switched us out with the $5 Indians under Andrew Jackson. Right? Now, the receipt I was just looking up was Genghis Khan's descendants. Now, I told people on the Young Elder show, I said, look, the Moors was called Etruscans before they became Moors after King Maurice of the Ottomans. And these Moors was at war with several different subgroups of people. They was at war taking prisoners of war from the Huns, as in Attila the Hun. They were at war with the Khans, as in Genghis Khan. And they was at war with the people of India called the Vedics. And these are the people that made up the European slave class. And then they had the Indo-European, no, the Neo-European is the correct term. Neo means new. They had the Neo-European offspring that they had in the harems that they amalgamated with and created what we call today the Khazarians. The Khazarians is from a place in Europe called the Prussian Mountains. The Prussian Mountains was once called Khazaria. The Prussian Empire was a post Roman Empire that rose up prior to modern day Russia. We had strong support in our wars with the French, Portuguese, the Dutch, the Spanish, the Italians. We was fighting all of them niggas. They wasn't pale faces yet. Pale face don't start making it over here until like the 17 and 1800s. The first wave they brought over, when they tell you that they had slaves on the Mayflower. Well, you got to know the people that was on the Mayflower, which was known as the good ship Plymouth. When Malcolm say we didn't land on Plymouth Rock landed on us. That's what he was talking about. So they had the 3 ships that came before them with Columbus, the Pinta, the Nina, and the Santa Maria. These 3 ships was led by niggas. But see, they wasn't called niggas. We gonna go into the history of how we got to be called niggas, because we wasn't called niggas, we was called nagas. And they know who we were, and they waged war against us because all of the high chiefs was in what was called the between life cycles. That means there was no high chiefs on the land, and that they outranked them in the lodges by ranking system, because there was no high chiefs. They didn't respect the chiefs that was in training, learning to rule as the chiefs. Now, the people they brought over here with them, we call them today Native Americans and $5 Indians. If you go to Google, and if you think I'm playing, you can do it, but I'm about to pull it up for y'all 1 second. And you say, how many people, men, are descendants of Genghis Khan? Now, the basic statistic is that it's 1 in 200 people that descend from men that descend from Genghis Khan following his Y chromosome, right? Now notice we over here, we have what was called the Amaru Khans in southwestern United States. It was an amalgamation of the Chinese royal families under Genghis Khan, under Kublai Khan, and the rest of the family that was marrying and intermarrying into the old Mississippians. And the old Mississippians is the Earth Root tribe. Now, Genghis Khan had a ridiculous amount of offspring. And his son, Kublai Khan, who was his successor, also had a ridiculous number of offspring spread in the Y chromosome of the Khans. But they was not the Li family. The Li family is an entirely different group of Asians that was chocolate color with straight hair. They married into the lines in the after Columbus's settlement, when they came in to assist with the construction of the railroads, the iron workers of the railroads, and they made truces with the railroad Mississippians, them 7-foot tall, muscle-bound Crips, them 7'4" muscle-bound Bloods, but they wasn't called that at that time. They was just the old Mississippians. They was the Toltecs. They was the Maya. They was the Inca. They were the Aztecs. They was the how you say that word in the native tongue? Neh, which is the people. Just like when they came in with the Spanish language, they couldn't pronounce the way that we pronounce our words. And that's why in our Southern drawl, we have a whole different descriptive analysis of our communication with these people. So you see me and Young Elder was doing the City Slicker Country Boy Code Flip Tribe Talk in the public, in everybody's face, so that y'all could see that just because he a little bit of country And just because I'm a little bit of city, don't mean we don't know who he is and that we know the lingo of the tribes, even when we move into modern times using a foreign language, a foreign spiritual concept called religion that didn't exist over here prior to 1492. We was one with nature, one with the earth, under Father Sky, we roamed across Mother Earth. And at any given time that we needed to call the ancestors, we looked to the sky and we spoke to the great father who walks with the black dog on his heels. For those who don't know what that is, that's the Osirian connection. In your biblical Greek, the word for heaven is Orionos. We talking about the great hunter Orion, which when he's in physical form on earth, he becomes the great father who walks with a black dog on his heels. And I keep a black dog, and don't make me flip my camera and show you he ain't sitting right here. Right? Now, when they came, they brought Mongolians, Huns, and Vedics to do their heavy lifting for them. It was not for another 200 years when warfare and the ones escaping the plantation was them $5 Indians. They had 2 POW camps set up, one major camp in the north, one major camp in the south. Then the South diversified and opened up several different that became known as the Plantation South. The Plantation South, remember, the first part of the plantation is plan, and the second part is Asian, which comes from a nation. It's a national plan. It's a plan to take over your nation. The plantation became the modern day plant or workers' unions, was what we were guilds. When they got here, we had organized workforces. Our families was named after the stuff that they done. The Bridges family built bridges, right? The Banks family worked at Big Mama Banks, and we had Big Mama Banks all across the land. This is where your outlaws come in. But we're going to get back to the economic hitmen because they come up a little later in this story. So they plotting on how to get and conquer the ones of these nappy-head Negroes out west. We talking about your Pyrus. We talking about your rolling 60s, your rolling 20s, your OG blood sets, right? Your treetop Pyrus. All of them is ancient clans. The name reveals who they is when you know what side of the family lineage they coming in on, and the trick is to turn us against each other. So this is one of them ones where the OGs out west sit the YGs down and say, this how they did it. This the one right here. This how they did it. So they brought the Mongolians, they brought the Vedics, and they brought the Huns that was in captivity. This is your Mississippi Masala story. Shout out to Denzel, because King Kong ain't got shit on me. Because motherfucking Gorilla Grodd, GD Rod, is knocking on this bitch today. So when they get over here and they are switching us out, now remember, these 3 groups that they brought have similar spiritual practices and backgrounds. They've been misled by their captives that bringing them over here in a hostile manner. Remember, it takes 90 days to get from Africa to the nearest point in the Americas. It takes 2 weeks to get from Europe to America. What's more practical, to bring your slaves from Africa or to bring your slaves with you that you already have in captivity in slave villages called ghettos? Ghettos don't originate over here. Go back to Warsaw, World War II. Who lived in the ghettos? It was the so-called Jews, But them ain't the Jews. They moved up north into Switzerland. This is why when they had that last war in France with the Swiss, they all went into them underground tunnels over there. The whole country of Switzerland didn't even know that they had a whole bunch of darkies with kinky hair walking around in the tunnels under their feet while they was the neutral territory. The only reason they neutral because they was fending us off, putting us against each other on both sides, the east versus the west, the north versus the south. The south will rise again when it never failed. It was undermined. It was usurped on a sweetheart swindle. Big Mama got hooked up with a banker, and he was a Scottish Rite 32-degree Freemason. This is your George Washington cherry tree Masonic Moorish code. George Washington didn't chop down no cherry tree. He raped the heir, not the female heir. He raped the male heir because the only way he can stop him from ousting him from the land, because he was the only high chief at the time, is to rupture his root chakra, his cherry, bust his cherry, his dukshu. Babylonian sex magic. Go look it up. Babylonian blood magic. Go look it up. They using all of this against us. Babylonian money magic. They use it and they incorporated it all in the biblical text that they sent a pedophile priest cult over first to rock us to sleep. Because you notice, when Columbus came, he wasn't guns a-blazing. He had to go back and give a report to somebody. They say it was Isabella and Ferdinand, but they was beheaded. So we know they was in cahoots with the Dirty Moors, because that's why they got beheaded. But then you still got these uprisings all across France, Italy, Portugal, and Spain, trying to get rid of these motherfuckers that's coming over here. The first stop they was stopped at was northwestern Africa, aka Al-Maghrib. There was no Morocco, there was no Libya, there was no Tunis. None of them countries existed when Columbus came here. That was a broad territory of land called Al-Maghrib. And then the part that was Afrique was a little river valley stronghold of the traders who sold out Hannibal of Carthage, right? Up there, there's a little river run called Afrique. This is where they got the whole concept to call Africa after the Berlin Conference, because it was a play on Afrique. If you go to the Arabic, the word Ifraka is what they were saying in the negotiations at the Berlin Conference when they divided the continent up over there. Now remember, all the way down into Brazil, coming up into the islands, we've been marrying and intermingling and intermarrying with Africans for thousands of years before Columbus came. So this is why they use the African narrative to disassociate us from the land. But in their science, we not called Africans. In their science, they call us Los Negritos. Look up it. I'm going to pull it up, see what it say. We a whole different genetic stock from the whole of Africa. We were called by these people Los Negritos, right? Then they translated to in modern English as the little niggas. That's what the negrito means, little nigger in modern English. Now, when they was doing this, we was fighting the Gullah Wars in Florida. We were fighting South America. We was fighting Cortez and the hordes that came looking for Cordoba. Cordoba, the city of gold. Cordoba means gold. They was looking for the city called Cordoba. And Cordoba is supposed to have been where we had our gold reserves, and they was looking in the wrong hemisphere. They was looking in South America. But if you go to the Nicolas Cage movie called National Treasure, it'll show you where our gold was kept. And it's still there. It got dust on it because Big Mama shut her bank down. And even the goddamn devil don't want to go up in there messing with Big Mama stuff. He gonna try to trick us into surrendering Big Mama stuff to him so that he can say that we surrendered our birthright. We ain't back down. We ain't quit. We ain't retreat. We didn't surrender. We backed up, regrouped, came a different way to fight a different war. Now, during this time, they had something called US, and pull it up, US Indian bounties. And look what it says. The United States government and colonial authorities offered bounties on Native American scalps and other body parts from the 17th to the 19th century. Now, they came in 1492. That was the 15th century. So from the 1500s to the 1800s, there was a bounty on our head. It's a Spencer Phipps proclamation in 1755. The Massachusetts Lieutenant Governor issued the Spencer Phipps proclamation, which offered bounties for Penobscot Indians captured and brought to Boston. The bounty was 50 pounds for a living male captive, 40 pounds for a dead male scalp, 25 pounds for a female scalp, and 20 pounds for a child scalp. They was killing the babies like they doing now. Now look, pay attention. This is not denominations known as dollars. Who weigh their money in pounds? Straight motherfucking British. That's British money market value until they switched over to the euro. Now, New Hampshire, 1724, the New Hampshire legislature authorized a bounty of 100 pounds for each male scalp turned in. Women's scalp were worth half as much as men's, and children's scalps were worth half as much as women's. That means it was $100 for a man, $50 for a woman's scalp, $25 for a child scalp. These the people that's running this country that Trump is fighting against. This who they fighting against. The same motherfuckers, they haven't changed. The same motherfuckers that tried to kill Tupac. The same motherfuckers that tried to kill Nipsey Hussle. I got the nigga page when he put the hit on him. I seen it all. His mama told me where to look and I found that shit. So I know the nigga, what he looked like. This nigga walked up on me in the penitentiary in the 90s. And then I see this motherfucker in California with Nip. And then he tried to use my motherfucking rap name. But he couldn't spell it right to break the conjure. Because they thought they was going to trick me into giving them the keys to the house. It ain't going to work because I'm always 10 steps ahead of you motherfuckers. This is chess, not checkers. And what Tupac say? We done seen too many real players fall to let these bitch niggas beat us. Right? So this probably going to be a flagged ass video. So if you're going to put it up on a different channel, you might want to do some beeping or some silent marks on some of the profanity. Because I'm cutting loose on their ass today. Now, California. Remember, we got these Bloods, these Crips, these Cholos, these Vatos, these Lokes, all out there in Cali. At one point, California offered a bounty of around $25 for a male body part and $5 for a child or a woman. It goes on. That's not all of them. The U.S. Dakota War 1862 bounties. Indigenous people, they offer reminder, and that ain't it. Phipps Bounty Proclamation, Upstandard Project. The California Indian Scalp Bounty. Scalping, Wikipedia. Now, they've been telling us that the Buffalo Soldiers, right, was some other people. How is you a Buffalo Soldier and you ain't from where the Buffalo from? First of all. So the Black Buffalo Clan is the stealth priests responsible to defend all nations whose totem animal is the great buffalo called the Tatanka. If you want to know who Angel Bay is, that's him. The Chicago Bull is the bison. He's supposed to gore all of these motherfuckers, which brings us to the Vice Lord, Bobby Gore. Bobby Gore is one of the 5 Lord Kings, right? This is all tribal shit. This is not no gang banging shit. We brain banging in this motherfucker. And I'm gonna bang y'all brains free today. These motherfuckers then, they instituted a regional separation of tribes. This is what they did. They sent a contingent to the northeast to fight the Indians or the organics of the New York territories. New York was not the name of the place, right? This is where your Shinnecock come from, your ODB, your LL Cool J, your Flavor Flav, them Shinnecock. Then they sent another contingent, because remember, we was all going to the south to fight the Gullah War. They backdooring us the whole time and we don't know it. So while we going to the south, to Florida to fight in the Gullah Wars, because Big Mama said all hands on deck. Big Mama got her gun and we rolling. Ain't nothing to talk about. Ain't nothing. All we want to know is what part of the war is you gonna fight, and I'm gonna go get the other part that you don't know about. Now, while we going down there, they send these niggas, Lewis and Clark. They wasn't pale faced like they told us. Them was some melanated Moors, and they had a translator with them that they try to cover up. Then y'all know him in the history books as Big Ben Bay, Benjamin Banneker, who fez is in the George Washington Memorial with all of the dirty Moors that we went to war with. Let that sink in. Big Ben Bay, Benjamin Banneker, the first American to so-called make a clock. We don't need no clock. We beyond time. We ageless, timeless souls. So they create the clock in order to trap us in the confines of a construct called time. Somebody call 19 Keys. We finna seal this up. Somebody call Yaki Awaken. We finna wrap this up. Somebody call Seven Bomar. Somebody call Orisha Bookman down there in Florida. Somebody call Sharice. Somebody call my Phoenix Rising. We about to wrap this shit up today. So we've been fighting a war for 500 years, protracted struggle. Since 1492, we've been the indigenous motherfucking warriors battling this machine. The war is not going to stay bloody warfare. We fought to a stalemate. The French sent a contingent to Haiti, got their ass whooped. That's divine insight. That's why he in there. He's in prison in the territory that the French formerly occupied as part of the Louisiana Purchase. That's Tucson, right? So now you come to Chief Pontiac, up here with the Ottawa, and the Chippewa, and the Saginaw, right? We all up here in the murder mitten, fighting the same dirty motherfuckers. They come up here, so they start sliding these $5 Indians into our camps, selling them in what's called the Freemason auction. And if you don't believe they was auctioning us back off after they captured us on a different part of the land, it's a book called The Moors and Freemasonry that talks about the auctions. They was selling us back to our tribes, but they wouldn't sell you back to the tribe you was from. They sold you to a foreign tribe, and that's how they slid these $5 Indians in on us. When they slide the $5 Indians, how you know they there? Because they stabbing us in the back, literally. Chief Pontiac got stabbed in the back by a $3 Indian. I don't even want to call him $5, $2.50, make change, nigga. Right? So we at war. We at war. The old Mississippians is backing up the Louisiana Territory and the Port Nola. That was the intake for immigrants. Go ask Chief Warhorse if you think I'm lying. Right? So we had to send troops there. Now they done went around with DeSoto and them, they went around South America, come up and bomb the Califia Queens. This was an all-women's resort, goddess glow-up type situation that all of the women, when they went through their rites of passage, had the option to go do their intern to develop their femininity in that succulent sexiness of the woman. And this is where we really went, the West Coast G's went off the charts. Because half of them is on their way to Florida when they making a double back. Okay, so now in come the Cowboys. They didn't call them boys. They didn't call Paleface boy. Who was the Cowboys? Cherokee Bill and them. Right? Cherokee Bill and them is the Cowboys. The Buffalo Soldiers ain't no motherfucker. They not working for them people. The real Buffalo Soldiers was the Black Buffalo clan that came in on the cleanup. Angel Bay, Chief Malik, Jeff Ford out of Chicago is the leader of them, the law on the land, the Buffalo, the Tatanka, the Big Bull, right? And so now we don't want to talk about this stuff because they got us thinking we the devil. They got us thinking we evil. They got us thinking we wicked. They got us thinking everything but who we is. We the gods of the earth. We the salt of this motherfucker. We would change the culture in your face on the drop of a dime. If you don't think we will, watch when y'all take rock and roll how we switch up to hip hop. Watch how y'all take jazz, we switch up to disco. When y'all tried to take ragtime, we switched up to hard bop. When y'all took the hard bop, we switched up to bebop, right? When y'all tried to take the blues, we dropped the rhythm and blues. We keep moving. Y'all trying to keep up with us. We ain't keeping up with y'all, right? So now we have to use every stratagem of war. Why? It's a book called Strategies of the Crescent Moon, and it's quoting from the Quran that the Moors follow. That's from these Islamic Ottoman fallen agents that's being exiled over here. They throwing the trash out and they dumping it on our shores. And they ain't never stopped dumping trash since they got here. Everything we did was harmonious with the earth before 1492. Now, nothing we do is in harmony with the planet. Who fault is that? We didn't do that. That's not our doing. That's some foreign outsiders interfering in our cultural behaviors that's natural to us. We will whoop a motherfucker ass. Don't get it twisted. We will go upside. But when we realize that, wait a minute, they turning me against my cousin and them. Let me go talk to my uncle and let him know what they doing to me and my cousin, trying to turn us against each other so he can tell us how to fight this war the right way. Matula Shakur. Right? Farrakhan, what we supposed to do? We need some guidance. We need some direction. They killing off our generals in real time, right? And so if they killing off our generals, we got to disguise them as regular niggas, regular old niggas. They got to be just as plain and regular as everybody else, but they got to be able to peep game. Good game, people are game, like a rhino running through the roughest pack. They say to them, a trigger happy, so I step back, breathe. Right? That's a Flintstone. The Flintstone cartoon with the Buffalo Lodge is about the Buffalo soldiers who were stationed in Flint, Michigan, that became known as Flintstones to the tribes. Right? I'm telling y'all where everybody at. It's up to y'all to put it together and to get the message out to the rest of us. It's over with. They can't beat us. They couldn't beat us with the hands. They lost that fight. They couldn't beat us with the guns. They brought the guns and still lost that fight. Now they want to come with the bombs. They blew us up. They flooded us out. They burnt up our cities. They burnt up our families. Giant Africa, Philadelphia moved. They didn't stop. We had to stop because we had to educate ourselves out of the condition, and we knew they was going to cheat. That's why we walk around with a handbook of their rules, right? All of the rules to the game is in their books, the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, the Mishnah, the Talmud, all they perverted holy books that's all about molestation of children, a murderous, rampaging deity that's running around killing everybody and blaming the devil of being the evil one who didn't kill nobody. I don't think he might have one body in the whole Bible. And, right? So now, they come in, Muhammad, on his night journey, riding his Baruch, which is an ass, right? But that's supposed to have been the Jesus story, so they had to turn it into a mythical beast. So they can't tell you that Muhammad rode into town on an ass because that's what ISIS did. Because Big Mama don't walk nowhere unless she choose to. Because one of her baby boys is going to pull up in a limousine. They going to pull up with the motorcade. They going to pull up with the security. When y'all realize what's going on and y'all realize how they played us against each other, we going to stop fighting each other and we going to start seeing them dirty Moors. They going to expose themselves. They going to expose themselves because they not going to be able to contain themselves when we know who we are. They going to expose themselves. They going to tell on themselves. They going to try to do everything to tear us down. But they ain't going to be able to do it because we know who we is now. The gig is up. Them old Mississippian guerrilla-knocking tribes is coming to the forefront to reclaim what's rightfully ours, and we done already did it. I done walked them through the whole process. They look like us. They ain't us. Ask Kendrick if you think I'm playing. Matter of fact, don't even ask Kendrick. Ask the dragon, the Draco. Drake. Right? Because he'll tell you, no, they ain't like us. Right? But I bet you he be grass dancing like a original. When he telling you what Kendrick said, they ain't like us, Drake gonna be grass dancing. Old native tribal stomping. Y'all gotta pay attention, man. They playing these dynamics out as artists to slide into the public domain, the secret, and put it in the open. It's in the open now. The gig is up. The cat is out the bag. These OG Negroes that y'all called nigga, we didn't realize that what y'all couldn't pronounce was the Nagas. And we didn't linked up with the Amaru and the Khans. And we didn't form tribal confederacies under your nose, making peace treaties on the slab, on the grade, in the penitentiary. See, you keep throwing people in the penitentiary and you think we too stupid. Remember, we couldn't end the Attica riot until we had that conversation with the minister because we needed to know where he stand. Go back and look at the Attica riots, the 71 Attica riots. What ended the riots? We needed to get a message to somebody, and we needed to get a message from somebody. Go find out who we asked for. Then you will understand how this shit is played. We playing chess on the highest level. They playing fourth dimensional chess. I'm laughing at them because I'm playing ninth dimensional chess. They ain't even got to my dimension yet, let alone come around here and tell us who we is. We know who we is. Chief Pontiac know who we is. I inherited that fight, and I'm going to take this motherfucker to the hilt. They know. I went down to the police station, to the sheriff's office, and told them, y'all on my territory. I need y'all to start packing y'all shit. And they looking at me like I'm from outer space, like, who is you? You don't know who I am now, but when it's all said and done, you going to know. Chief Pontiac spoke. You ain't got no business here without my permission. Not on my land. And it's just like Tupac said. If I'm going out on my own land. You're not finna take me out on no foreign soil, on another chief's territory. You're not finna pull me up under a different chief's land and execute me so that chief could take the fall from it from the rest of the tribes. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Y'all don't know who, I'm telling y'all, the Bone Thugs and Harmony. Them all Cleveland Indians. Them Ohio boys. They right down the street from me. Busy know what's up. Go listen to Busy. He ain't crazy. He know exactly what he talking about. He an old red man chief. He came back a little lighter due to amalgamation because he in past lives, he was my complexion, but I was much darker too. Right? But now we see the whole game. The battlefield is upside down now. We didn't expose all of the dirty players. If Malachi York didn't expose them, Farrakhan exposed them. If Farrakhan didn't expose them, Clarence 13X exposed. If he didn't expose them, Yahweh Ben Yahweh exposed them. Every time they come at one of us, they expose their hand as to who they really is. Martin Luther King. Who killed his mama? A Hebrew Israelite. Why do that matter? Because that's who we've been fighting this whole time. Moorish Zionist Jews who live in gated communities in upstate New York. They live in gated communities in upstate New Jersey. They live in gated communities in California. They look at us like parasites, but they sucking the blood out of us. They calling us the parasite, and they sucking our lifeblood. And our children is just supposed to suffer, grit and bear it while they raping our babies. And we ain't supposed to say nothing. We ain't supposed to do nothing. We supposed to go along to get along. Nigga, bullshit. That old Martian shit is over with. Because I'm telling you now, if Chief Pontiac Rod Hayes march somewhere, I'm going to have about 100,000 Crips, about 100,000 Bloods, about 100,000 Vice Lords, about 100,000 GDs, about 100,000 BDs, about 100,000 Black Souls. I'm having every tribe, 100,000 Hell's Angels, 100,000 of them, the pale faces that took over the KKK, because y'all thinking that was a Christian organization. That was a secret society that was formerly known as the Black Brotherhood of Spain, and them niggas is still over there in the same regalia they was in when they brought that shit over here. And that's the black hen they feared in the South. That Clayton Bigsby ass nigga who head hanging from under the robe. Fuck them niggas. I don't got no mercy for them. I don't got no sympathy for them. I don't want no, don't come shaking my hand. Don't come kissing my ass. Get off the land. Get off the, y'all want the wrong people off the land. I want the dirty players off the land. I want the turncoats, the backstabbers, the usurpers, the interlopers, the ones masquerading like they original to the land and they all the time foreign agents. They not registered under the Foreign Agent Act because they don't want you to know the United States is a foreign corporation. It was set up the same way they set Halliburton up in Iraq and Afghanistan after the Gulf War. It's the same corporation. Northwest Trading Company, Virginia Trading Company, merged again, and they became known as the United States Corporation. But we don't know this because they got us believing that we won the Revolutionary War and the North won the Civil War. Bullshit and bullshit. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. But as long as we letting them tell the story and control the narrative, we victims to the system. They waged war against us. Look, they call us non-treaty tribes, outlaw tribes. This is your outlaws. Not the motherfucking economic hitmen that they was sending in to rob Big Mama banks. Go back and watch the movie Hateful Eight again. Go back and watch that other movie with Cherokee Bill in them, and you see who was doing the robbing. They look like us, but they not us. That we was fighting people that looked like us, but they wasn't us. They were scared of them brothers that came out of the deep south of Louisiana that looked like Bass Reeves with that super mustache, right? Now, this is the one for my Latinos. Jefe Blanco. The man with the white suit. Jefe Blanco. The man with the white suit. That nigga is the one who went and slid up under Cesar Chavez, not Cesar Chavez, Pancho Villa, and had him sell out Emilio Zapata, the real soldier in the revolution for the Mexicans. The real Zapatista. Right? Y'all don't know about this because y'all not saturated in the revolution of your freedom and overthrowing a foreign agent that's sitting on your back. I got tutored by some of the coldest OGs that you ever want to see, and they told me, So when the Mexican OGs told me about the conquistadors, and then these brothers telling me about the dirty Moors, and then the righteous Moors is being tricked out of their money by the dirty Moors in the Moors house, and I don't supposed to see none of that, got me twisted. I'm seeing it all. I don't turn the blind eye to bullshit. I look at that motherfucking bullshit straight in this motherfucking eye. Right? They got my chief locked up for 50 fucking years for nothing. They done set this man up. This man ain't did nothing. They done accused this man of ordering some shit with no evidence that he ordered nothing. COINTELPRO operations, Rex 84. If it ever come a time where they realize who they is, we gonna round all of their leaders up, all of the men that could possibly be this so-called black messiah. Ain't no goddamn black messiah. There's no man. The black messiah is a woman, you stupid motherfuckers. The black messiah, the only black messiah is the black woman. You can't escape that. I wouldn't give a fuck if I married 1,000 white chicks today. The truth of the matter is the anointed one is the black Madonna. That's Empress Redbird, and you don't have to believe me. When these motherfuckers get done bowing down, though, y'all gonna believe me. Y'all gonna know, goddamn, that nigga out cold. I was looking for her. She was looking for me, but I didn't know who I was looking for till I bumped into her. She had all of the receipts to all of the work I was doing, and I couldn't figure out. She got to be the one because they gave her the paperwork that they wrote. Foundational documents, fruit of the poison tree doctrine. This is how you overthrow them motherfuckers. You can fight them in their courts, and you're going to lose because they don't got... None of us, organic originals, we all fall under the 3/5 compromise Dred Scott because we don't know who we are and we don't know where we at. Well, today we know who we are and we know where we at. We 5/5 realized, bitch. Run my shit. Make my people whole. We ain't talking about let my people go. No. Unloose my shit. That's what you do. Because pretty soon we get to the point where I'm going to have to unloose some thugs. I'm going to have to unloose some outlaws. Some 1% bikers. I'm going to have to unleash them. I don't want to do it. The big mama told me, my mama told me when I was growing up, she said, baby, if you do what I tell you, you ain't going to have to fight nobody. All you going to have to do is claim what's yours. I'm claiming what's mine. Only way I can claim mine is to tell you who the rightful heirs is. And all over the world, it's a collection of big mamas. Different skin tones, different hair textures. This is what you see when you see the Filipino pop up on Dr. Kia Pruitt's show. Talking about she an heir. She ain't lying. She ain't lying. She from the White Dragon clan over there. Trump had to go to her family to get the receipt in order to prove that we was over here claiming our shit in order to get our gold from the Vatican. 650 planes of gold took it from the Vatican under Donald J. Trump. Come on now. Y'all don't see this stage show playing out, this theatrical performance that they called an election. Stop falling for their shenanigans. Stop falling for it. This shit is over with. This shit is over with. We on fire today. We not playing. Right? Somebody let Brother Rich know. Post this on, put this up on this page when I get done. Tell young girl to put this motherfucker up. We finished. We going in. Now, they put the $5 bounty out, but the history books, they telling you that these natives is scalping the 49ers, the ones going out there to mine for gold. There we go with that gold shit again. They going to California to mine for the gold, but they don't know that not only is it gold in the land, the people in California is the gold. That's the grit, that's the worth, that's the value, because only the people from California can function correctly in California in order to control the resources of the land, the air, and the water, which is the Great Law, which overrides the law of the high seas, which sinks your maritime ship. Your motherfucking ship was sunk on January the 6th. Pelosi, we sent the shaman. He was pale-facing a motherfucker, but he came and sat behind that desk, and he only had to be there for 1 minute, and he sat there for 5. And the police let him in. And the DC police let him in. All them people that they talking about was insurrectionists on January the 6th was let in and gave a whole tour by the motherfucking Capitol Police. And when they was leaving with podiums and shit, that was called capturing the ship. For those who don't know, Battleship is a game that we used to play back in the 70s and the 60s. Well, I started playing it in the 70s. I was a little boy because I was born in the late 60s. But we sank their battleship that day. It was over with that day. Now, we just going through this to make sure that y'all know what happened. Because only by y'all knowing what happened will y'all understand what we doing when we reclaiming the land. When SikApe put the Pope on notice, she said, the chiefs have been selected across the land. Govern yourself accordingly. And he was froze because he knew that she was not playing. What'd he do? He went back to the Vatican and sent back a response. Discovery doctrine rescinded. That means every piece of paper founded on the discovery doctrine, including your United States Constitution, your secondary corporate constitution, including your right to settle, your white man's birth, all that was rescinded under the discovery doctrine. The only problem was they keep calling us minors. They ain't talking about coal miners. They ain't talking about gold miners. They calling us minors because in law, a minor means you an imbecile in law. Cali with me, though. I ain't worried about it. Cali with me. They ain't playing. Look, when I told them hit them in the pockets, what the OGs say? Look, under Cali law, the legal beagles talking out of the system now. Under Cali law, you know if it's more than 300 people, that's considered a riot, and nobody can get more than 30 days for a riot, participate in the riot, because it falls under the control of irresistible impulse. And the supporting document is a book called The Crowd by Gustave Le Bon, where he say that under the influence of the crowd, the individual loses all sense of itself and only can follow the will and the power that the crowd drives him in. Hello, critical mass, 100 monkey effect, bust them in they badussy. That's what you do. 100 monkey effect. Bust them in they badussy. So what they do? 1,000 niggas in Nordstrom. 1,000 niggas in the jewelry store. 1,000 niggas on the train. That's mob action. That's mob action. That's MOB. That's mothers over bitches, we say. Right? Mothers over bitches. We love the mothers, but we don't give a damn about a bitch. Because they sent them slimy bitches in to undermine us and get us caught up in these child support cases, in these sex cases, and all of these fabricated molestation cases, while they protecting the pedophiles that's coming into the schools dressed like women. All the time, this motherfucker got a beard thicker than mine, a mustache and eyebrows thicker than mine, talking about he don't know if he a man or a woman, and he in a dress reading books to your kids in the name of the goddamn Statue of Liberty, drag queen, pedophile, priest cults from Rome. This the fall of Rome. Babylon been failed. I've been told y'all that. I announced the fall of Babylon in 2018, 2019. So Babylon over with, and this is the last grip that we breaking. Soon as y'all understand the United States is not our government. The United States only want us to vote. Your vote don't mean nothing. They don't want the voter. They want the organizer, so they can know who to pay off, who to bribe, who to give benefits to keep the rest of the niggas under control, and it ain't working no more. Because even the ones who they thought didn't see their game, peeping their game now, they're like, hold on, this is a new group of chiefs coming up, and these motherfuckers is beating their chest like some real gorillas. They like some George Jackson, Soledad brother, Black August type shit. Niggas like that, the quintessential destructive force of nature, all in the form of pure intelligence. We don't have to beat up nobody. All we got to do is get our clans to know what's going on. We ready. We ready. Ship this out west. Let them Crips and them Bloods dissect this for the YGs. Let the OGs break this down. The triple OGs break this down for the YGs. Let them know what I'm talking about. Pull the receipts that I'm calling out while I'm calling them out, and y'all see this shit clear as day. They can fool a whole bunch of people, but they can't fool me. My mama told me a long time ago, it's okay to be fooled, but don't be nobody's damn fool. Right? So I took the fool's journey and became the fucking hero at the end of the tarot deck. When I started off as the 0 and ended up sitting in the emperor's seat, right? Making sure that the empress is well situated. Y'all don't know what's going on. I'm telling y'all what's going on. The white hats, Jefe Blanco, right? Everything they use to tear us down, we had to use it to come up. Jefe Blanco, the one with the white suits and the white hat, that's the Naval Guard. The brass in the Navy wear white. The brass in the Army wear green. The brass in the Marines wear navy blue. The brass in the Air Force, they wear white over black, I believe it is. Right? And then your National Guard wear Army colors. If you see our Army dispatch on domestic soil, that means that they have been sheep dipped by the National Guard. Because what's about to happen is the largest eviction in the history of the planet. And we ain't talking about evicting them from America. We talking about evicting them from the planet. They didn't already ship thousands of motherfuckers, if not millions, off world. Because they can't die here no more. They got to go. So now we just dealing with the henchmen and the minions, the coverers, the ones who was the facilitators for the dirt. And the ones that was sitting at the freak-off parties, seeing everything going on, but they too much of a bitch to say something. They gonna bitch up. My mama say the sealer is as bad as the stealer, right? That means that if you are sitting there with a motherfucker that's stealing, and y'all get caught, you just as bad as him. They call it accessory in law. You can be accessory to the fact, after the fact, or before the fact, but an accessory is an accessory, and you can still get life if the crime is right. The game is over. Look, when the La Cosa Nostra came over here, the children of Hannibal of Carthage was exiled from Italy by the Etruscans after the Carthaginian wars with the Romans. When they exiled them, they exiled them to the island of Sicily. So they sent us Mario Puzo so he can write the Godfather movie. So you can see the structure and the order of a family that's ran by a single individual. Right or wrong, it don't matter what he's doing. He's protecting his family and he's feeding his family off the fat of the land. They sent that over here for a reason. It's a reason people say that Biggie and Tupac was tied into two different mafia families. The Rolex ain't no coincidence. That Mickey Mouse Rolex, the double up, and that ain't no coincidence. Right? This is not a happenstance. This is a well-orchestrated plot of all of the Earth tribes from around the planet that met up at the Bang Dong Conference. Look it up. Right? Look it up. Y'all don't know who that is, do y'all? I'm gonna wait till he see this video, and then he gonna put up. He gonna be like, "Look it up." He used to be a comedian, but he ain't cracking no jokes today. Right? So, in Chicago right now, make the wrong move and you gonna get took off the land the hard way. Them youngsters is being informed by the OGs in the Chi of what's taking place in real time, and y'all don't even know it. Y'all don't even know it. Look, don't worry about nobody from Venezuela. That's MS-13, right? They tied up in truces on the West Coast with Bloods and Crips and Mexican Mafia and all that shit. They tied up in the Midwest with truces with the Vice Lords, the GDs, the Peace Stone Nation. They tied up in treaties with us. They ain't coming to sabotage us. That's the support team. Quiet as it's kept, that's the support team. That's why on Rex 84, under the section known as Operation Cable Splicer, it tell them that if they ever wake up, they got to block the border. But the one who tell you to block the border is telling you where the help gonna come from. He telling you where the aid and assist of the tribes. Fuck that motherfucking military shit. We talking about the tribes of the land. We go all the way from the North Pole to the southern tip of South America. This is Turtle Island, and we coming. You can't stop them. Build a wall if you want to. They gonna find a way either through it, around it, over it, or under it. They coming. You can't stop them. You can't stop them. We got treaties with the Hells Angels, right? This ain't no. They ain't just rolling around on the land for no reason. They used to ride horses 200 years ago. Now they riding motorbikes. Before they was riding Harleys, they was riding something called an Indian. Go look it up. I'm not making this shit up. Then the Lawndale district, before the vice lords became vice lords, they was called outlaw vice lord bikers. That ain't no coincidence. Young vice lord told me I ain't know what I was talking about. 2 days later, I dropped the receipt on my Morpheus page. It's over there. Go look it up. Right? So it don't matter. I know everything going on the land. I know all of the tribes. I know right now about the continuity of government, about to come out and expose this shit. The motherfucking orange man, because they remember they flashed the White House orange the other day. Who is Agent Orange? That's Donald J. That's Howard the Duck. That's Donald the Duck. Right? That's Agent Orange. Because when negotiations get on you, you can't get that sucker off you. Right? I've been watching him for years, ever since Tupac flipped him to me. Because I don't trust none of them. And he's second cousins to Hillary Clinton. We needed somebody on the inside that didn't like what was going on and took sides with us, and it was him. Because they look like Indians they don't look like Indians to him, and they don't look like Indians to us, and we the Indians. I'm just saying, you got to be able to see through this bullshit, because it's all a big facade. The government is a fraud. All of their laws is made up to interfere with our natural life process. All of the stuff that they made illegal on the land is targeting us specifically. This is why they said we smoke marijuana and we go crazy and rape white girls. Oh no, make a law, make a law. That was just to keep the chief from chiefing with the chief, so that you can see when the chief be chiefing, he be chiefing up on some shit. Right? We be talking about fourth, fifth dimensional mind communication. We be talking about getting the THC and the CBDs to work together. When we get the munchies, the sugar turn into the dirty burn turn into the rapid fuel fire. But because it's saturated with 70% water, the fire gets smothered and let off a bunch of smoke, and the smoke becomes the black soot, and the soot becomes the carbon, and the carbon is autosentient when it turns into melanin, and the melanin can communicate with the carbon. So now we can talk to the dark mother without ever moving from where we at. Wake up now. This shit over with. This shit so over with that these motherfuckers need to come bow down and kiss my fucking feet so I can kick them in the mouth like the Pope be doing. Let the Pope come kiss my feet. I guarantee you his teeth gonna come out his ass within 30 seconds or less. Let him come kiss my feet. I'll boot his ass from here to Albuquerque. Right? And when he hit to Albuquerque, you know who gonna be waiting for him? A dark man. Chief Zolo. I'm coming. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. This the culture. Chief Zolo is DMX, the Dark Man X, the unknown man that walked out the dark into the light. Through the tunnel. Get at me, dog. Right? Flipping the dog pound off the East Coast to the West Coast. Right? Barking back and forth. Remember, Pluto was a dog in Disney. Right? And Goofy was a dog that had a pet dog. Let it sink in. They're telling you the stories all the time. The Califia Queen's replica, after they bombed the castle, they had to build a replica because it had to be accessible to activate the genetic memory of the Califia Queens and make them want to go and back to Cali. Cali got gunplay. Bitches on the runway. So in order to activate the genetic memory, we looking at Tinkerbell putting the pixie dust on the castle. Every time we watch a Disney movie, Tinkerbell say, here it go right here. The Califia Queen's castle is right here. I'm Tinkerbell and I'm here to show her where it's at. And then everybody be thinking that we don't know what we seeing when we looking at it. Just because I ain't say nothing before don't mean I didn't know before. I just didn't tell you before it was time. Paul Messiah said, I'll sell no wine before it's time. And I will tell no truth before it need to be exposed. That's a Masonic code all day long. Then they say they're a traveling man, that mean they're a Mason. They say they're a navigator, that mean they're a Mason. They say that they're a physician, that mean they're a Shriner. Watch out now. They come in all shapes, sizes, and colors, right? But the ones who's pulling the strings, them black ass niggas, now I know why my mama said, I don't like no damn Africans. And I'm like, what the fuck? I thought we was from Africa at the time, but I knew something wasn't right. Then I started noticing that the stuff my mama was telling me was consistent with American tribal heritage. Why is my mama telling me American tribal heritage if I'm supposed to be from Africa? But I don't never remember being born in Africa before. Every time I be born either right here or in the territory of the Sun Wukong. Hail the return of the Sun Wukong. Back from the west, Buddhist scrolls in my arms. I went to tame my Sakuma. Now I'm coming back right now. You don't know nothing about that shit. But look. So the government ran us into seclusion by sending contingents to put them between buffers between us, sending infiltrators in to sweetheart swindle the women in order to wrestle the land so that they can institute the sharecropper agreement and turn the family farm into a plantation to maximize the plan for their nation. Y'all need to pay attention to what I'm telling y'all. I'm not making this shit up. I got too many references to prove it. Let the G's know this is a wrap. This is a wrap. Look, if you don't believe me, keep watching. So back to Jefe Blanco. So when they used to be the Black Hand, right, and they wear their KKK regalia, which is they hombre it's hombre negro something, but it's the Black Brotherhood of Spain. When you look them up, they came over here wearing them white uniforms. So what we had to do in order to overthrow them is we had to invite the people that ran their ass off from over there in Europe over here. Now we gonna have to take some heat from these people too, because they not gonna be able to tell which one of us nappy head, whether it's the Negrito or the Morenos. They don't know by looking at us the difference, right? So they gonna treat all us the same. They gonna call all of us nigga, which came from the conquistadors calling us Los Negritos. When you go look up Los Negritos, the Negritos is a whole. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up and read it to y'all because this stuff is so it's second. It's like second step now. Genetic stock of Negrito. Unraveling the genetic history of Negritos and indigenous. National Institute of Health. Let y'all see it. National Institute of Health. It's a unraveling the genetic history of Negritos and indigenous population of Southeast Asia. See, that's where they get you. But that's why Elijah Muhammad say I'm the Asiatic black man, because he's saying we the Negrito stock. We not the niggas, the Morenos, the Moriscos. We are los Negritos, the Asiatic melanated being, the what they call Melanesians, right? It's the indigenous population of Malaysia, known as Orang Asli, or OA, show huge morphological, anthropological, and linguistic diversity. However, the genetic history of these populations remain obscure. We performed a high-density array genotyping using over 2 million single nucleotide polymorphisms in 3 major groups: Negrito, Shinoy, and Proto-Malay. Structural analysis indicated that although the AO group are genetically closer to East Asian populations, they are substantially distinct. We identified a genetic affinity between Andamanses and Malaysian Negritos, which may suggest any ancient link between these two groups. We also showed the Sonoy and the Proto-Malay may be admixtures between Negrito and EA populations. Formal admixtures tests provided evidence of gene flow between Austro-Asiatic speaking OAs and populations from Southeast Asia. So what they're telling you is that the people in Australia they call Aboriginals have a similar blood lineage to the people from Hawaii, all the way going up into the Ainu people in Japan, going into the Dravidians in India. And these are the people called Negritos that was the same people that's from the genetic stock that we from, as organic, original Mississippi clay dirt walking. And we rose up out of the Mississippi clay dirt because the Garden of Eden, the cradle of civilization, the birthplace of humanity, is in the Mississippi Delta, the Louisiana outlaw into the ocean, into St. Bernard Parish, where that pyramid is under the ocean that they don't want y'all to know about. I ain't making it up. It said elevated linkage, disequilibrium, and enriched homozygosity found in OAs reflect isolation and bottlenecks experience. What that means that over a period of time, you end up with Tongans and Samoans and Hawaiians and Japanese, but they all from the Negrito stock. But because they got isolated into certain groups, then they formed into they evolved into a solidified stock at the geography that they was. In other words, the part of the land of the earth that they was on, they became a stock of people unto themselves through continuously inbreeding with each other and crossbreeding with each other. The people from the area began to form one people. This is what the plan was for America with the Dirty Moors, because they supposed to come marry into our families and we ain't supposed to know it. But they murdering our big mamas, and they telling us that, oh, Big Mama had a heart attack last night, baby. He done poisoned her. 2 years later, he's selling the family farm as a sharecropper. And he all the time, he know we don't believe in selling land. So what's going on here? Somebody ain't telling us something. Right? And then it said the continuum in divergence time from Negritos to Sonoy and Proto-Malay in combination with ancestral markers provide evidence of multiple waves of migration into SCA, starting with the first out-of-Africa dispersals, followed by early train and subsequent Austro-Amnesian expansions. So they're telling you, they're trying anything they can get this out-of-Africa thing. They got to get this in the, like the African people are kindred, but they not exactly the same as us. They got different matrilineal lines, but similar patrilineal lines through to the marrying across the ocean. We got to add mixture of that stuff over here. We don't have a problem with Africans. We got a problem with them motherfuckers that divided it up at the Berlin Conference that look like us and blamed it on pale faces. Them the niggas we got the problem with. Not the people in Africa that's being victimized just like we being victimized. They not the enemy. Right? Ibrahim Traore, he won us. Earthborn, original tribe, ain't buying that shit for nothing. Julius Malema down in South Africa, he not buying that. Look, they killed off my man I forget his name. We got so many of the OGs that they just murdered them. Maurice Bishop. Maurice Bishop was the truest brother that you ever would want to meet in the CIA. This wasn't the KGB. This wasn't Chinese Secret Service. This wasn't the Mossad. This was the US Central Intelligence Agency sent a hit squad down there and murdered that man. Then, turned around, they had a 25-year, under Jimmy Carter gave a 25-year moratorium on CIA-sponsored homicides, assassinations. The first motherfucker they killed when he lifted it was Laurent Kabila. Go look him up. And they was chasing after the brother Jerry Rawlings. They was chasing after all of these progressive leaders. They was at Muammar Gaddafi head. The CIA did that. That's why Pac and them went over in Benghazi. Go pull the footage. See who y'all see in Benghazi. Nigga, this some outlaw shit. This how outlaws ride for real. We ain't never going nowhere. We don't got nowhere to go. We from here. We been here. And we gonna be here. This is just the way it is. You know? So, they can tell who they want to. They can call their mama. They can call their daddy. They can call their Uncle Charles, their Uncle Jake. It don't matter to me. They can call their Aunt Susie, their Aunt Barbara, their Aunt Mary. They can call whoever the fuck they want to, but ain't nobody calling these outlaws off their ass now. It's too late. We won. Victory is assured, saith the Lord. Vengeance is mine, saith Big Rod. Let me get my hands around these motherfuckers' necks, and I'm going to show you what brain banging turns into gang banging at the highest levels when I get to slam one of these motherfuckers off the motherfucking gallows. So I don't even want him to hang. I'm going to throw him off the gallows head first, let him crack his melon, and tell him like they told him about me. Oh, Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall. He can't be put back together again. I ain't Humpty Dumpty. I ain't never took the fall off the wall because my potential has never been wasted. Because an egg is infinite potential. And to break the egg before it develops is wasted potential. And all the king's horses and all the king's men will never put Humpty back together again, because once the potential is wasted, it's like squandered money. You can't call it back because it won't come. But if you manage it correctly, the money becomes an infinite seed, a current seed, the current that you see when the goodness flow back into your life. Return of the sweet waters. Oshun speaks. The Oshun priestesses of the Califias and the Chiquita Banana Lady and all of the mascots that they turned us into. We ain't never stopped being here. Go into any tobacco shop in the South, one of them old Indian tobacco shops, and you're going to see a big Tuscaloosa looking Indian in every tobacco shop. That's because we was tobacco chiefs. They didn't have tobacco in Europe. They came over here to get that shit. So what was we doing with the tobacco? We wasn't having all of them toxins on that tobacco. Because nicotine is a neurostimulant, they had to poison it to stop you from smoking. Right? Then they don't want you to know none of this shit. They want you to think everything good for you is poison. That's because everything good for you, they poisoned it. Deliberately, with malice and aforethought and ill intent. The desire was to remove us from the land. If you don't believe me, we can go talk to Ramona Africa. We can sit down and have a conversation with the sister, and she gonna tell you how they did her family in Philadelphia in 1985. She's still here. And she ain't the only one of them still here. They didn't kill them all, but they was unfortunate enough to get rid of John, the mastermind, because they don't want no chiefs doing no chief shit on our own land. They made all of our natural practices illegal. We need a license to go fish. What is a license? Permission to do something illegal. We need a license to bear arms. The Constitution said the right to bear arms shall not be infringed. By making you need a registration and a license is an infringement upon your inalienable right to be able to protect yourself and your family. The right to bear arms has nothing to do with hunting and everything to do with when the time comes to fight this government. Now we got too many in the military of us that's starting to wake up to what's going on. We got too many of them high-ranking white hats that's now the new Jefe Blancos that's working for us instead of the enemy now, because they believed in some shit called the Constitution wholeheartedly, and they believed in that they was going to protect America from all enemies, both foreign and domestic. Who is the domestic enemy? The state. The state is the domestic enemy. They the squatters on the land, the imposters, the frauds, the usurpers. They don't belong here. They need to go. Shut their government buildings down, close this bitch up, lock this bitch down. It's done. Ain't we done with this shit. If anybody, get the youngsters together. We about to start having youth summits to tell our children that they call gangbangers. I'm going to personally go to O Block and tell them what they did to turn us against each other. I'm going to personally go down there to Motown and tell them Stones what they did to turn us against each other. I'm going to get in touch with Prince Wakita and say, hey, Keita, I need your support to tell the youth what they did to our people to have us killing each other like we don't know what's going on, so we can be focused on the right enemy. I'm going to go, Cali, wherever they send for me at, I'm going to be going. But first, we got to get our shit back. We got to get organized. But Martin told us, when he discovered, see, everybody don't know that it was two Martin Luther Kings philosophically. It was the pre-1965 Martin that saw the assassination of Malcolm X. And right before Malcolm got assassinated, he went to the 63 March on Washington and told Martin, no matter what happened to me, go to Arizona and spend some time with the old man. And when you leave, you will never be the same, and I guarantee you, you will see the enemy clearly. That's what Malcolm told him. And you know what he did? 1965. It's called the historical meeting. Martin Luther King went to Arizona, spent 7 days 5 or 7 days. It was a week. I don't know if it was a 5-day week or a 7-day week. But he spent a week with Elijah, and Elijah gave him the rundown of the enemy. He came out of there, and he said, when we go into Washington to get our check. And then he told you why. How they undermined us, how they undergirded the peasantry of Europe with an economic floor, mechanized their farms. At the same time they was doing that, they was stealing our land through sharecropping agreements. And then they was turning around, making it difficult for us to do business anywhere, because if you didn't have pale skin, you was not allowed to do business in this game of Monopoly they playing on us. The Monopoly became a plutarchy, and we won. And Pluto represents Scorpio. And I am the Scorpion King, because I'm the king of all the Scorpios. I'm the motherfucking Cyclone Center. I am the eye of the storm. And I don't even want to be. That's the crazy part. I ain't want this shit. People be thinking that this shit be glamour and glitz and shit. This shit is miserable, painful, long-suffering struggle. And if you ain't got that in your blood, you not going to make it. You going to fold. You going to sell out. You going to quit. You going to give up. You going to surrender. You going to tap out. Whatever the term for loss, lose, you going to do that shit, because this is not no motherfucking easy. Man, 35 fucking years of straight book reading. I done read so many books. I be seeing books in my sleep that I ain't never seen before, and I read them motherfuckers too. I'm like, where this book come from? Then turn around 2-3 years later, here go the book. I read that book in a dream. How in the fuck is that possible? Somebody somewhere is telling me something, and I don't know how they getting this information to me, but I'm getting it. And it's coming up, and I'm coming with receipts, right? So this shit traced all the way back to Babylon. The stone that the builders rejected has now become the chief cornerstone. And the chief cornerstone ain't the chief cornerstone until it become the capstone. And the only way it can be a capstone, it got to be caught up at a royal arc degree, where the red house and the blue house meet in the middle. And if they meet in the middle, that means it's perfect center. That means it's 50-50, left to right, 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other, no matter how you cut it. Right? So The sisters is a 5-point star. The brothers is a 6-point star. The star of Venus is the star of the divine feminine. The star of David, as they call it, which is really the shield of Solomon, is the divine masculine. And when you put them together, you don't get an 11-point star. You get a shooting star. And the shooting star comes out in the form of the semen, and the semen fertilizes the egg, and the egg drops down into the portal where it can be molded without the aid of the hands of man. And that's how you know that God is with us. Because every time a woman push one of these babies out, whether they snatch it out by abortion or whether she carry it to term, every time they pull him out, God was in her womb at work. At work. Whether they was what they call a heterosexual union produced or whether they was parthogenically produced, God was still working. And if they was parthogenically produced, that tell you that God can't be no man. And Earth is a feminine planet. It's only 2 feminine planets in this solar system. That's Venus and Earth. And Venus is the divine mother that rides with the sun Mercury on her heels. And they say the elephant rode to town with a monkey on her back. They didn't know he was going to grow up to be a full-fledged fucking gorilla. Pounding on his motherfucking chest, beating on the concrete, swinging from lamp poles until these motherfuckers get the code. Did it eat, dash, the ghetto code, because the revolution won't be televised, but this shit played the fuck out on social media. And everybody watched it, but they didn't know what they was looking at. Because right before your very eyes, you won't even realize that you can't see me. You don't know what I'm doing while I'm doing it, but because you don't know what I'm doing, you assuming that I don't know what I'm doing, when I know exactly what I'm doing. Mama said, tell the truth, shame the devil. And then Big Mama said, don't worry, he ain't gonna leave no stone unturned. So I done flipped every stone, which is every chief. I only needed 50. I flipped 50 chiefs to the public. That's all recorded, time-stamped, and dated according to the oral tradition. They can't say I didn't. I told them who the enemy was, where they came from, how they got here, what kind of war they waged, who we was fighting, how we was fighting them, the methods of war, the stratagems, the tactics, everything they used against us. Farrakhan got a clip. I might be on TikTok, but it's called What is a Democracy? It's from a bigger video, but the section that the brother was playing is called What is a Democracy? And everybody that I had named, he named was killed by niggas. Niggas. Then I just got done watching Malachi. Malachi had me pumped. Because he's talking about, they done brought all of this religious shit over here and they don't even follow it. They send the clergy first. That's called a soft sell. The soft sell work like this. I pretend to be your friend until my friends get here. Then we whoop your ass together. The church and the Crown of England and the Crown of France and their little associate affiliates throughout Europe of them lesser countries all came over here to get a pound of flesh and a ton of gold. And they paid the money for the flesh in pounds and dollars. And they stole as much gold as they could and hid it in the Vatican. In 2017, Donald J. went there and showed them the receipt. Run that, because somebody in this land is not an imbecile in law. Somebody on the land is fully conscious and is not a minor. He's a full-grown ass man that's talking this chief talk, and you're going to have to surrender what he says surrender, because if you don't, you know the consequences, because you've already been told by the Most High. And the Galactic Council is the support team. We ain't asked for the motherfuckers to put us in no light lock, put us in a perpetual time loop, called an infinity loop, to fight this war till somebody came out victorious at the end. This was a no-holds-barred match. They did everything they could to break the rules to beat us. We followed the rules, educated ourselves out of the condition, and now they mad because they lost. They tried every fucking lie, every form of deception, every form of murder, every form of lynching. They turned us into strange fruits, barbecued us, roasted us like hot dogs, stuck us in vats of boiling hot oil, everything they could to make us forget who we was. And guess what? I wasn't here until now, so it didn't work on me. That shit only work on the people that went through the suffering. I woke up from the amnesia because the shit that you needed to reinforce it, I wasn't here. Because had I been here, you'd have lost a long time ago, you stinking ass motherfuckers. I'd have been put my foot up your motherfucking ass, and I'd have rallied the motherfucking troops from coast to coast, from pole to motherfucking pole. And we would have tore y'all ass up. And that's why I told them motherfuckers, don't call me until you can't figure it out, and make sure I'm the last resort, because I don't want to be fucked with. And they fucked with me. Who the fuck conjured me up for this shit? Oh, them niggas is at it again. I thought I got rid of y'all son of bitches the last time we did this shit. But a couple of y'all crept back through some portals. It won't happen this time. It won't happen this time. Because every motherfucker that's loyal to you motherfuckers, whether they earthborn or not, got to go with your ass. Get them out of here. Clean this shit up. Separate the wheat from the chaff. Drag the dirty players out in the public. Let the people see them rotten snakes for who they is. Let the chiefs speak and tell the report to the people, because it's the people that we got to satisfy that we've overcome the obstacle and the enemy. It's not the individual. So when enough clansmen know, when enough of the OGs teach the YGs about the wars they waged on us, and about the means that we use to overcome it was to educate ourselves out of the condition, then their whole system collapses in their face, because now they don't got no support. That's why they got Kamala up there. She's supposed to fail miserably because we waking the fuck up too fast and they can't stop what's coming next. The shit big. The ship gonna land on Emerald Lake in Colorado, the Crystal City, and you know it as the Emerald City, on the Wizard of Oz, right? Follow the yellow brick road. The yellow brick road is paved with gold. And that's all of the good intentions that motherfuckers had on their way to riches. But they lost their riches on their way to Oz, trying to get a heart that they already had, trying to find some courage that they already used, trying to find a brain that they never even knew they had, right? So whether it's the all added up on the Toto, which is the dog that walked on the heel of the white girl, is the same as the black dog that walked on the heel of the great father, in reverse, upside down, turned around in your face. That's why we gonna drop the White House on their head, just like they dropped that house on Dorothy. I mean on the Glinda, the good witch. The old wicked witch, she burnt, and I done confiscated her flying monkeys, because now they all flying motherfucking GDs and flying Crips and flying Vice Lords and flying Disciples, because Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, has spoke, and the king of the monkeys is the Hanuman, because the Hanuman can handle any man, woman, or child according to their desires to be on this planet. And if you don't know who the guardian of the earth realm is, you need to wake up and snap out of the slumber, because y'all all know who the fuck this is. Y'all all know what's going on. You just don't remember because they put us in a stupor. They used the Babylonian blood magic, the Babylonian sex magic, and the Babylonian money magic. And it don't work on me because I know how it works. And if once y'all understand how it works, it won't work on y'all either. That's why I told y'all the mechanics of it with B-Dale. We told you how the blood magic worked, how they using it, where it's written at, showed you the references. Now I'm telling you, and I'm telling you where to look to find out that they waged war against the 9 treaty tribes. They called the 9 treaty tribes from the Supreme Court of the United States of America. They called the 9 treaty tribes foreign dependent nations. No, domestic dependent nations. They call them perpetual enemies. They call them outlaw tribes. And then they call them 9 treaty tribes. We the ones don't want to do no business with them. Which was about 98% to 99% of all the tribes on the land were outlaw tribes. And the reason they call us outlaw tribes because our jurisdiction fell outside the parameters of their law. We don't have nothing to do with that judicial system until we start forcing our way in there with picket signs and goddamn protests. Talking about some equal rights. You can't have equal rights with a motherfucker that feel like he's superior to you and you some kind of animal. They classified us as less than human, the 3/5 compromise, just so they could say we ain't got no rights that they bound to respect. Man, gut that motherfucker from his testicles to his tonsils. Straight up. Split him open and let his guts hit the floor. Because we not buying that shit no more. We can think too good now. We can read too well. We got too many of these baby G's coming up that's listening to motherfuckers like us, that's telling them what's going on the land, and they remembering. And they remembering in such a way. This is your crystal generation, your what they call them, your rainbow children, the rainbow tribes, to restore balance back to earth that the old elders tribes been spoke of. The old Hopi prophecy that said America would come and it would go, and we'll still be here. All of this stuff is fact checkable. You can check the facts on this, even though the fact checkers is trying to cover up the facts by disputing the truth, calling it a lie. That's like the dude that went to the David Copperfield show that know exactly how the trick performed, trying to tell you that plane really did disappear. But he know it's a trick, and he know how the trick performed, and he trying to convince you that the illusion wasn't an illusion. Motherfucker, I see through that shit just like you do. I know how he made the plane disappear just like you do. I know how he made the elephant disappear. I know how he made the tank disappear. I know how he floated across the goddamn Grand Canyon. All of those were illusions. He wasn't motherfucking David Blaine. He wasn't Chris Angel. He was just another motherfucker that was running an illusion. The real magicians, y'all ain't even seen him yet. Y'all haven't seen him. Since this chiefing with the chief, I need to light up my... I'm on one tonight. Anyway, so we know who they are. We know where they at. We know where they were. We know where they was removed from. Woo, that was smooth. I had to get that off my chest because most of us don't know the reason why we can be 100% innocent and still go to prison is by design. And then, not only that, they will pay one of us to lie on one of us because we don't know no better. They taught us how to be professionally ignorant. That's the only degree they ever gave us, is a degree in how to be an ignoramus 101, the basics. Follow the tricknology of the enemy, 120 motherfucking degrees of tricknology. But the 120 degrees of tricknology will never override 360 degrees of right knowledge on the planet. Because then you got 360 degrees of right knowledge in the stars. That's 720 degrees going to stomp that 120 all day long. So whether you a 32 degree Scottish right, 33 and the third York right, it don't matter to me. Run my shit. Get Big Mama her shit. That's a wrap. Close this shit down. Shut this motherfucker down. Bring my motherfucking chiefs out so they can tell the people that they got to tell the people they're obligated by the right and the law of the land to tell the people why they not performing their chiefly duties, because these motherfuckers is interfering with the natural process and the natural working order of tribal systems. They instituted some shit that we believe is a government, but it's not a government, it's a police state. When you go back to the law of the land and you go back to the tribal ways, we don't have wars, we have parties. It's going to be Mardi Gras from coast to coast. It's going to be more technology unveiled at this World Fair coming up next year. Hospitals is not going to need no big ass metropolis sized buildings to be a hospital. No, we're going to turn them into houses for the homeless. A hospital only going to need one room, a med bed, a healing pod, and a rife machine, and they going to fix you with frequency in a matter of minutes. This shit is over with. It's a done deal. Hey, Donald J., go on and pull a whole card. Hit him with some of that Agent Orange. You know the White House turned orange. That's that Agent Orange shit. Right? Let's go. It's showtime. Step up. I'm just saying. Y'all, if you know an OG in any set on the land, and he don't want to teach this shit to the youth, he one of them. He one of them. The one that be sending the young kids to do dumb shit, get that nigga off the land. We not doing that no more. You not sending our babies to their own destruction no more. We not doing that. This OG call. Fuck that bullshit. Big 50 speaks. This shit over with. Wrap it up. Close it down. Shut it down. Burn it down. But whatever going on, this USA shit is over. I don't care how patriotic a motherfucker think they is. We matriotic around this bitch. We big mama boys. We coming in this motherfucker stomping like big dogs. I'm trying to tell y'all before the shit hit the fan that the shit is about to hit the fan. And it's about to hit the fan sooner than you think, because the stars is aligning for the divine feminine to be restored by the divine masculine in harmony and balance, and all of the people that got enough sense to see what's going on can see it. The love between people is improving, right? They putting these little Manchurian candidates in the schools to tell y'all stop sending y'all's children to this Skinner box so they can get conditioned by this Pavlovian response bell. That's why they keep sending these Manchurian candidate Ritalin Prozac babies in these schools to light these motherfuckers up so that they can tell y'all it's time to shut these motherfuckers down. Every time they shooting the school up, they telling you to shut the schools down. This is about to be the worst month for school shootings in the history of school shootings. If y'all don't get y'all babies out of there, y'all gonna be creating your own negative karma by leaving y'all children in the devil's house. School mean hell, flat out. Go look the etymology of school up. It mean hell. You sending your babies to hell, teaching them how to be devils. Bring them home and teach them how to be humans. Teach them how to be positive and progressive men and women. Give them some life skills. Hell, we can help you with that shit if you can shut these bitches down. Shut them fucking down. They don't need to be here no more. We tired of this shit. We tired of this. We not your beast of burden. Got us fucked up. We don't owe you motherfuckers nothing. You just so happen to owe us everything, and the outlaw told you we back for every fucking thing they owe, and they just so happen to owe us everything. So we want it all because it's ours. We don't want it all because we want yours. We want it all because it's ours. And you take your ass back with your little trinkets and get the fuck on. We want it all. No shorts. We not taking no shorts. We not taking no credits. We want the real fucking McCoy. The real McCoy. Right? And I went to school with Andrew McCoy. OG. One of my guys. Real estate investor, makes a lot of money. Mix-a-Lot. Mix-a-Lot was telling y'all back then, his posse on Broadway. The Broadway. In broad day. Don't give a fuck what a broad say. That's that Pimp shit. Pimp C. Pimp C ready to be seen, y'all. Because I'm so sick of this nigga in my motherfucking psychic network talking about, come on, man. Come on, can't you make this shit move no faster? Brother need to be seen. Brother tired of being had back off in the cut. Yep. He had a hit on Pimp C. And the dude that was supposed to be responsible for murdering Pimp C, that they paid, married Pimp C ex-wife. That's some gangster shit right there. A nigga pay you to kill a nigga, and then you marry that nigga wife. It's just that he ain't smarter than these old chiefs. We got some old smart yard dogs. You know what a match dog is in dog fighting? A match dog is an old dog that they don't put him in a real dog fight, but all of the dogs that they want to train, he got to get past the match dog before he can qualify to fight the fight. That old match dog tear their ass up. He know all the tricks of the trade. He know how to come in, go out. He know how to circle your dog. He know how to hit the stife. He know how to shake the motherfucking femur loose. He know how to hit the ear. You know what I'm saying? He know how to turn the muzzle. He know all the little tricks of the trade. He just ain't got all his teeth. So you can't bet no money on him, because if he lose, it won't be his fault. It won't be because he ain't the baddest motherfucker in the fight. It'll be because he just didn't have the equipment to get the job done. Well, you looking at this platinum back gorilla. I got the equipment. I got the drive. I got the fight. My tail up. You better ask motherfucking 40 water. My tail up. That motherfucker don't stop wagging. I fight to the motherfucking death and the last motherfucking breath. Huh? Mac Minister, you better tell him. I came over this motherfucker with a Glad sandwich bag to put my foot in their ass. Come on now. Y'all don't know nothing about no $1 million spot trying to make it hot. Man, we thought it was a money game. Wasn't a money game. We thought it was a knuckle-up game, but Mike Tyson and Big Tookie proved that it's not a knuckle-up game. So then we thought it was a statesman game, but they took Larry. That show, well, it wasn't a statesman's game. What the fuck is it? What the fuck is it? It's a knowledge game. The only motherfuckers that they can't successfully take down is the smartest motherfuckers on the land. It's a knowledge game. It's a wisdom game. It's a wisdom game to gain wisdom, to be wise enough to set my people free. Man, that's some Moses shit. My man Alex been calling me Black Moses since I was a baby. Since she's the one my mama told her, get the baby out the hospital because they going to do something to him if you leave. And they tried to poison my mama in the hospital so she won't make no more like me. True story. Y'all going to find out I'm high and Alex tell it. Because she said, Shirley, you want me to take the baby out the hospital? She said, you got to get the baby out of here before they do something to him. They know who he is by his birthday. My aunt Alice took me out the hospital. My mama was in the hospital for 9 months because they tried to poison her, tried to kill her. Didn't work. Didn't work. And y'all don't know what y'all did. Y'all done fucked up now. Now my mama ain't here to hold me back. I got one obstacle in the path, and that's Big Mama with her love and light ass shit. That's not my philosophy. That's her philosophy. My philosophy is love and do them right. That means give them what they earn, good, bad, or indifferent. Some of these niggas need a foot upside the head. Some of them need to get kicked down the flight of stairs. Some of them need to be thrown off a tall bridge with a short rope. Some of them need to be just thrown in the ocean with a pair of concrete boots on. I mean, shit. It's just what it is. This is the grand finale to this shit. It's coming. I can feel it in the air like motherfucking Phil Collins. I can feel it calling in the air tonight. Oh Lord, what is this? What is this sensation? What is the dispensation of this sensation that makes me want to reach the whole nation? Right? This is some real shit. So they waged war on us. They wrote us out with the paper genocide. Now remember, if you want to know about the paper genocide, go with Cooking with the Chief, with Chief Warhorse, where she go over the whole Andrew Jackson stuff. Some of her old shit, she go more in detail than she doing some of her new shit. But they switched us out in the Trail of Tears with Mongolian Huns and Vedics who formed the modern day Native American. We not Native American, right? We Native Americans from the motherland in the Americas, because the motherland is the land that rules the land and it's enforced by the fatherland. The creator gods give the power of rulership to the ruler gods in order to satisfy his motherfucking right to put a boot in the motherfucking ass for fucking with his mama and his sister shit. So now I came to get my sister shit because my mama said you don't let nobody take nothing from your brothers and your sisters. So not only did I come to get my sister's shit, I came to get my brother's attention. Because once I get their attention and they know I know what I'm talking about and they know I'm not making this shit up because I got too many goddamn receipts. I got so many goddamn receipts, the receipt machine and jammed up on us. But now y'all know it's not a mystery no more. You know why Malachi in there. You know why Chapo, look, when Chapo get out, he gonna be the ambassador of the tribes to the Spanish-speaking community, and he already then got messages out to the Mexican mafia in Mexico to tell the families what's going on the land and what we doing up here on the main part of the land to get everybody back whole. And that communication is spreading down into Honduras, into San Salvador, into Colombia and Guatemala. They not going to stop no immigrants from coming. In a minute, your National Guard is not going to do any good. They're not going to do no good because they coming, and they coming to stand with us. Stop letting these motherfuckers soup y'all up to panic about some immigrant migration. We got soldiers coming globally, but they coming because they know that the tribes in the Americas that they've been waiting on to pull this motherfucking trigger of freedom, then let loose a whole Gatling gun of this shit. Fully loaded motherfucking all 10 Buddhist scrolls of wisdom, all scrolls of government. That shit done been unleashed on the people with so many goddamn receipts. Them Dane Calloway receipts, them legendary Top Cat receipts, them Yaki Awaken receipts, them Phil Valentine receipts, them Dr. B Serious receipts. We got motherfucking Bobby Hemmett receipts. We got Delbert Blair receipts. We got all of the receipts that you need. Now we cashing in at the final close of the gate. We got all of the chips and we don't want to gamble no more. We got every chip in the casino, right? Pusha T. I wrote this alone in Vegas, baby. I wrote this alone in Vegas. We the same motherfucker. We just in different bodies. We body jump around this bush like falling. We got 24 hours to live, goddammit. We gonna touch another motherfucker. So to make sure that this knowledge that I got, nigga, this shit ain't going nowhere without another motherfucker getting it. I'm guaranteed I'm giving it all away for free. I don't want a motherfucking dime, but I do accept donations, but I'm not asking for shit. I'm putting this shit out there. So if they do anything to me, it's too fucking late now. I done tied too many motherfucking points together on this goddamn map. I done connected all of the dots, and I see the face of the man in the moon smiling at me, smiling at you, while you wondering, how did I figure it all out? Don't worry how I did it. Mama told me to get it done. Now it's done. Big Mama can come back home, and now we can get back to living heaven on earth once again, like we was before the motherfuckers sailed they stinking asses over here, because they was over there treating people like shit, eating babies over there, sucking Drino. What do you think they call Emperor Vlad the Impaler Dracula for? Blood-sucking motherfuckers. They came over here and ran into us. We was wearing wolves. So they say, ooh, they look like kin, but they ain't, because they wear wolves. And you suck blood, motherfucker. That's the difference. We don't go around eating babies. You ain't never seen a werewolf movie where the werewolves is eating babies. All they eating is you grown ass, rotten motherfuckers who think you nickel slick trying to slide up under the radar like you ain't did nothing wrong, and up jump the motherfucking werewolf to snatch your ass out. What you think a skinwalker is? Get that spookism shit out of y'all head. They want y'all to make everything into some spooky paranormal bullshit. A skinwalker is a tribal warrior who wears the pelt of an animal as the camouflage. That's the real skinwalker. Your coyote tribe, your panther puma tribe, your leopard tribe in South America, in Central America, your motherfucking Black Wolf Clan, your motherfucking Black Bison Clan. All we wore pelts of animals. We wear wolves, motherfucker. We the skin walkers that walk around in the skin of our totem animals when we pop out in the dark on you motherfuckers and you wondering how in the fuck is this wolf 7 feet tall standing on 2 legs built like a shit brick house. That was just an old Mississippian that you don't know the culture of, so you don't know who they is. I know who they is. They're my daddy people. We always been warriors. It's a knockaround game, son, and I'm knocking you upside your brain. Just like they did Hiram or Biff, I'm here, but I'm gonna motherfucking wake you up with a spliff. Understand me? I got the ties from Jamaica to motherfucking Long Island, from California, goddamn, back to Barbados. All of these tribes is on deck. They didn't touch bases with me from Australia. They didn't touch bases